Hello, and once again, welcome to the second rearrangement. Earlier, we had done the Reimer-Tiemann reaction, name reaction, and this is another name reaction, but this is a rearrangement. Pinacol, pinacolone rearrangement, simply it is called pinacol rearrangement. Now, this is a special case of a carbocation rearrangement. Generally, it is called Wagner-Merwin rearrangement, that the skeleton of carbon changes relative to the reactant via carbocation rearrangement. So this is a special case where a vicinal diol is involved. When a vicinal diol, 1,2 diol, like pinacol, this is a tetra substituted diol. This is called pinacol, 2,3 dimethyl butane 2,3 diol. When it is subjected to an acid like sulfuric acid, perchloric acid, or any Lewis acid, it is rearranged to a ketone or an aldehyde. In this case, it is ketone. There is no room for any aldehyde formation. Now, what happened here, like any other alcohol rearrangement, one OH group is lost as water after protonation, and there is a migration of a alkyl group or an aryl group or a hydrogen as a hydride ion from the adjacent carbon. Simultaneously, this double bond is formed. The lone pair now migrates to form the double bond. Now that has happened here. Supposing carbocation is formed here after dehydration. So this is the carbocation, since this is a symmetrical structure. So any one of these two will migrate as a carbanion, and this lone pair will come. This one of the groups will migrate. This is a 1,2 shift forming, and subsequent deprotonation will form the ketone. I hope you understand what I say. Now you have to take a acid catalyst, either a Bronsted acid or a Lewis acid. Bronsted acid like sulfuric, perchloric, phosphoric, trifluoroacetic acid, paratoluene sulfonic acid or tosic acid. Lewis acids like BF3 or trimethylsilyl triplet, trifluoromethyl sulfonate triplet, that can be used for this rearrangement. In fact, it is a acid catalyzed dehydration involving a rearrangement of carbon skeleton with a 1,2 shift of a group, maybe alkyl, maybe aryl or hydrogen. The driving force for this reaction is the ease of formation of a 3-degree carbocation. And in the presence of acid. And the next one is the achievement of further stabilization in the final product, forming a carbonyl compound, maybe an aldehyde or a ketone, through 1,2 migration of the group. Under mild acid conditions, usually the reaction is kinetically controlled, which means the stability of carbocation is the rate controlling step, the rate determining step. However, under drastic acid conditions, concentrated acid, the reaction becomes thermodynamically controlled, which means the more stable product, thermodynamically stable product, is formed as the major product despite higher activation energy. But in most general cases, kinetically controlled reactions are extensively studied. Now, we have already hinted what is the regioselectivity of dehydration, from which carbon, because there are two OH groups, which carbon will lose the OH group as water. That is the regioselectivity. If it is kinetically controlled, which most pinacol rearrangements are, in dilute acid conditions, at room temperature or below, the reaction is kinetically controlled. That means the more stable carbocation will be formed first. Let me tell you the simplistic mechanism. How I show you here how the pinacol, which is a very symmetrical compound, is converted to what we call, this ketone is called pinacolone. It has got a special name. This is pinacol and this is pinacolone. It is very familiar name is pinacol and the product is pinacolone. There is only one product because it is a symmetrical compound. Now see what happens here. Any one of the two, because since it is symmetrical, any one of the two OH groups will be protonated from sulfuric acid. It's protonated. Now it loses water to form the carbocation. This is 3-degree carbocation, very stable. Still, there is a driving force for forming another carbocation, which is stabilized by heteroatom resonance, an oxycarbenium ion. So what happens here? This is a simultaneous process. The lone pair of the other OH comes here to form a pi bond, and one of the groups will migrate here. The methyl carbanion migrates. What happens here? It forms O carries plus charge, and this plus charge is neutralized, and one methyl has now come to this position, right? So one of the resonance structures of this compound is the carbocation. If I'm not showing here to make it a little messy, just if you polarize this one, then you get another contributing structure, which is an oxycarbonium ion. And this one is more contributing than this. So the driving force for the the rearrangement, not second. It was already a 3-degree. And this is also 3-degree. This one, which is one of the contributing structures. Now why this happens? Because it is a heteroatom resonance that makes this structure highly stable, and subsequent deprotonation will produce a neutral ketone where one of the groups have been migrated from one carbon to the other, right? So you get a ketone. Now see, this is the same thing I have shown you from another source. This is pinacol. These are all reversible processes. That is the beauty of this reaction. All steps are reversible. Now one of the OH groups is protonated, dehydrated to form a 3-degree carbocation, and simultaneously lone pair comes to form a double bond, and one of the alkyl groups shifts. These are the two same groups, and then deprotonation happens here. Deprotonation happens from here to form the pinacolone. Now if it is a tetrasubstituted compound having identical groups like pinacol, then only one product is formed. But when there are two different groups, either two different groups here or between the two vicinal carbon atoms, then we get two products, out of which one is the dominant product. If there are three different groups, there will be three products, out of which one is major. If there are four different groups in the vicinal diol, we get four products. Theoretically, maybe practically also, but one of them is the dominant one. Now, which one becomes the major product will be decided by many factors. These factors are stability of the first formed carbocation, if it is kinetically controlled, then the factor is the stability of carbocation, the first carbocation. Whether it is 3-degree alkyl or it is a benzyl, it is a diphenyl methyl. So it depends, as you will apply your knowledge of general concepts of organic chemistry to decide which carbocation is more stable. There it happens. Or and relative migratory aptitude of the group from the other carbon. Wherever the carbocation is formed, the other carbon will lose an alkyl or aryl or hydride in the form of a negative ion and to the first carbocation to produce this stable keto compound, carbonyl compound. So, which out of the two groups bonded to that carbon, which one has a greater migratory aptitude? That also is a controlling factor to decide which one is the major product. Now then the third one is the stability of the carbonyl product. If you give conditions favorable for thermodynamically controlled process, then it will never ever care for the stability of carbocation in the first step. It will look for the stability of the final carbonyl product. More is the resonance, more is the stability. So it also depends on the stability of the product if it is thermodynamically controlled. We'll see all different examples. And what type of acid catalyst you are using, Bronsted acid or Lewis acid, and their concentrations. Also temperature has a key role in deciding the percentage of the different products. Also conformational effects, and also some neighboring group can participate to help the process. We'll discuss one by one everything. Now let's look to the relative migratory aptitude of different groups. Wherever the carbocation is formed first, but the next carbon will lose a group as a negative ion. So it has been studied extensively that this is the main order. Aryl greater than less than hydrogen. This is very funny. Greater than less than hydrogen hydride, then alkyl, and among alkyl 3 degree, greater than 2 degree, greater than 1 degree, greater than methyl. This all depends on how effectively the migrating negative ion can stabilize the first formed carbocation. Since aryl negative ion can stabilize the first formed carbocation due to its conjugation effect. That is why in general aryl has a greater migratory aptitude than hydride. And of course the alkyl has a plus I effect. But hydride has a greater migratory aptitude than alkyl. Now because alkyl group will be electron releasing, so it 3 degree has a greater effect than 2 degree, migratory aptitude than 2 degree, then 1 degree, and then methyl. While hydrogen has greater aptitude than alkyl, it's here you think of thermodynamics, because kinetics in the first step. You also have to look to thermodynamics. If hydride goes, then you get alkyl ketone, and that is stabilized more by plus I effect. Right? That is the reason why. But aryl, though has a greater aptitude than hydride for migrating, but many times we have to do the opposite. In many literature, you will find hydrogen is first, then aryl. And among aryl aromatic groups, electron donating groups like alkoxy, alkyl. In the para position mostly will make it more migrating in aptitude. So, and electron withdrawing groups like chloro, nitro, they will decrease the migratory aptitude. For example, paramethoxy phenyl, this is called anisyl, para-anisyl, and this is para-toluene, para-methyl phenyl, then phenyl, then para-chlorophenyl, then para-nitrophenyl. These are the two EWG, and these are the two EDG. So this is the order among the aryl groups for migration. Now you must carefully note what I am saying now. Aryl versus hydrogen. When aryl will migrate and when hydrogen will preferentially migrate. I mean hydride ion will migrate. Aryl has greater migratory aptitude in general than hydride, as it can stabilize the first form carbocation to a greater extent. However, invariably hydride migration occurs preferentially to form thermodynamically more stable ketone product. If phenyl goes, then you get aldehyde. But if hydride goes, you get a conjugated ketone, phenyl conjugated ketone, which is thermodynamically more stable. That is why in most cases using little harsher acidic conditions, hydride transfer occurs. So therefore, you are asked by most of your instructors, hydrogen you pick up if you find any problem involving pinacol rearrangement. Pick up hydrogen in preference to phenyl or any aryl. But no, that happens when the conditions are a little harsher. But under dilute conditions, when you instead of phenyl going, you get, now see, under milder conditions aldehyde product is formed. It is due to phenyl migration. What is the reality? What is the reality is phenyl migration that happens when the conditions are a little milder. But in harsher conditions, usually hydride shift occurs, giving you a conjugated ketone, phenyl ketone. Under milder conditions, aldehyde product is formed in appreciable or predominant amount due to phenyl migration. Recently, more than 80% of yield of aldehyde product has been found due to phenyl migration that has been reported by using graphene oxide as catalyst. Graphene oxide as catalyst. Let us not discuss about what is graphene, and that is one of the latest discovered allotropic modification of carbon, like fullerene. Graphene is also like that, it's oxide. So this is the latest research where you get aldehyde product due to phenyl migration, not hydride migration as often students write. So you can't say phenyl is ahead of hydrogen or hydrogen is ahead of phenyl. That all depends on the conditions. But ordinary case, you are handling an experiment, it is harsher conditions, and you make hydride shift to get a thermodynamically stable product. But it is virtually kinetically controlled. You have already decided the fate of carbocation first. The second step is the migration of the group. There, whether hydride or phenyl, that will be decided by conditions. So often you in the examination you can think of hydride. But remember, under mild conditions, phenyl goes to form aldehyde. I show you the different data. Now, here two different groups are there. Unlike pinacol, there are two phenyl and methyl. Since again this is a symmetrical structure, anywhere the carbocation can be formed. For example, carbocation is formed here, phenyl group migrates. Because out of phenyl and methyl, undoubtedly phenyl has a greater migratory aptitude, and it happens. While analyzing the product, it has been found this has been formed with 90% above abundance. This is less than 10%, so almost nothing. So phenyl has a greater migratory aptitude than methyl. That is why this lone pair comes here, forms a keto group with a deprotonation. Phenyl migrates as a negative ion, and the dehydration occurs, for example, from here to give you this, the only product, I mean exclusive product, because methyl has no, chance for competing with phenyl for migration. Now see, this is another example. Here paratoluene sulfonic acid is used as catalyst. Right? Now sulfuric acid is used as a catalyst. Here there are two different groups, ethyl and methyl. The same, but again it is a symmetrical structure. But here you find the ratio is 4:1 for ethyl migration. Wherever you can form the carbocation, then the ethyl group migrates. So there are two ethyl groups and one methyl group and keto group here. Ethyl groups, supposing this ethyl groups comes here, so there are two ethyl groups and one methyl group, and the keto group is here. So this is 4 times greater than the one where methyl migrates. There will be 2 methyl and 1 ethyl. With ethyl with carbonyl group, this is 1 time, this is 4 times. Unlike the case here, this is almost negligible, because there is phenyl has an absolutely greater aptitude than methyl, much greater. But these are the two alkyl groups, so they differ, but no doubt methyl has some migratory aptitude than ethyl. Ethyl has greater. Same thing happens here. This is an unsymmetrical compound. These two are methyl and these two are methyl and ethyl. So obviously the more stable carbocation will be here because of more hyperconjugation structures, right? Now then ethyl group migrates, so that the 83% product will be ethyl and 2-methyl. Ethyl and 2-methyl, then C double bond O, but remaining 17% where carbocation is formed here, then any one of the 2-methyl groups comes here to make 2-methyl and 1-ethyl. 2-methyl, the carbocation is here, then double bond comes here and any methyl comes here. So there will be, no, carbocation supposing is here, once again here, and instead of ethyl migration, methyl migration occurs, so that there will be 3-methyl here and this will be double bond O. But if we make carbocation here and methyl comes here, then there will be 2-methyl and 1-ethyl, already it is there. That is why the chance of forming this compound is even more from the side of carbocation forming here or the formation of carbocation forming here. But this product is minor. And I give you many examples which will help you. I suggest you to write down, stall the video, pause the video and write the mechanism, study mechanistically, so that you will get a feel of what is going on. Now there are 2 phenyl groups and there is 1 phenyl group. Here there are again 2 different groups, hydrogen and phenyl. You get 2 products. Now see how you get kinetically controlled product as the dominant product or appreciable product. Now see, if you are using a dilute condition and low temperature, dilute sulfuric acid, then of course positive ion will be formed here. The first formed carbocation will be here. Why? Because there are 2 phenyl groups. It will conjugate and stabilize the carbocation. That is kinetically controlled. Then there is a competition between these two. And the dilute condition, it is the phenyl which migrates to form the aldehyde, as the kinetically, of course it is virtually kinetically controlled because the first formed carbocation is here. But the second one, where phenyl migration occurs, that also the second step is also has a lower activation energy. So I'm writing this for the second step. So you get aldehyde as one of the dominant products. And of course, hydride migration occurs to form another product. But when you are using harsher conditions, concentrated acid, you get the sole product due to what you write in the examination, hydride migration, because by that you get a conjugated ketone, phenyl conjugated ketone, the thermodynamically controlled product. I mean, second step I'm talking of. First step is kinetically controlled. The second step is thermodynamically controlled if you are using harsh conditions. Got it? I give you another example where there are two phenyl like this and methyl. So carbocation will be formed here. I am using dilute condition, and then there is no phenyl. So don't worry about any conflict. When there is no phenyl, hydrogen is competing with any alkyl group, then alkyl will be the leading migrant. So methyl migration occurs, carbocation is formed here, and I'm so sorry, there's a competition between hydrogen and alkyl. Hydrogen has the greater magnitude. I'm so sorry to misplace things, because hydrogen has no competition with alkyl. Hydrogen leads. I unfortunately told the opposite. Hydrogen is always above everything. Where is that? Yeah. Hydrogen is always above. That you have to remember. So the carbocation is formed first here. Where? Yes. Here. And it is hydride transfer preferentially to give you this product as the only product. Almost 99%. The rest is negligible. And you see here, this is a tertiary butyl carbocation having greater number of hyperconjugation structures. It is simply benzyl. So the preference will go to, as you know, benzyl carbocation is less stable than tert-butyl. So if carbocation is formed here, and this is cold condition in which aldehyde product is formed, phenyl migration occurs, which you will definitely have to remember if you find a question where cold dilute sulfuric acid is used, and here is a situation where you will never ever use your originally preconceived idea that hydride migration will occur to give you a conjugated ketone. No, phenyl migration will occur to give you an exclusive kinetically controlled aldehyde product. Are you getting heavy? Don't worry, just listen to me. There are three different groups. These are very simple things. If you just pick up a pen and write down, they are very, very easy for you. Now these are three different groups. Now phenyl, methyl and hydrogen. You will get three products, but to decide in the examination you are asked which one is the major product, then you have to decide first, coming to the first step where the carbocation is most stable, undoubtedly here. This is 3 degree, this is 2 degree. So carbocation will be formed here. There is a benzylic 2 degree, right? Then between the two, since it is a harsher condition, ketone product will be formed. Your thing will come up. Hydride ion transfer will come, and you get a conjugated ketone as the major product. Is the second step thermodynamically controlled, but the first step is kinetically controlled. Positive ion is formed here, but the other two products will be formed. The aldehyde product due to migration of phenyl will also formed to some extent. And if the carbocation is formed here to a small extent, then phenyl migration will make it 2-phenyl, and it will be CH3, C double bond O. So all these three products will be formed, but this one is the dominant product. Now here, same thing happens here. This is para-toluene, para-methyl phenyl, and of course there are two phenyls, so carbocation will be formed here first, and out of the two, since it is dilute condition, then my thing will come into picture, not your thing, that para-methyl phenyl will migrate to form the aldehyde as the major product. And if you are using concentrated sulfuric acid, then your same compound, your thing will come, that you often remember hydride has a greater aptitude than aryl, then alkyl. Many instructors, they say hydride, then aryl, then alkyl. I say aryl and hydride, they can be interchangeably used depending on the conditions. Now since it is harsher condition, that is your concept will, I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. Hydride ion transfer will occur and you get a conjugated ketone here. Because always carbocation will be formed here because there are two phenyl groups. The question of migratory aptitude will be more in the concentrated state, that is hydride ion, to give you a conjugated ketone. But the other product will also be formed. That means carbocation forming here and phenyl, one of the phenyl coming here, so that it will be this benzoyl thing, that also will be formed. The aldehyde product of course could have been one of the very minor products, but I have not shown the aldehyde product because we are using concentrated, you get always thermodynamically controlled. This one is both kinetically and thermodynamically controlled, and this one is thermodynamically controlled from the beginning, because you are not getting this positive, and then these are the two identical groups, so one of them goes to give this. Now this is another similar case where you have same thing here. The difference is there will be only one phenyl, but between anisile and phenyl, anisile will definitely stabilize more to the first formed carbocation, so this will be formed. Then hydride ion will transfer, because we have used, I have forgotten to write, this is a concentrated solution of sulfuric acid, so that hydride ion transfer will occur to form the conjugated ketone as the major product. This is concentrated sulfuric acid. So already we have discussed the war between thermodynamics and kinetics. There is no point. Now even the first step sometimes becomes thermodynamically controlled. Kinetics will be superseded. Now see, here is a case where there are two phenyl groups, so the positive ion should have been formed here. Yes, it is formed here under dilute cold conditions. It is the first step is also kinetically controlled, and these are the two same groups, so the product is exclusively this one. But if you are using concentrated sulfuric acid along with acetic acid, it has been found, I am not cooking the data, these have been found from the literature. Now if you use concentrated catalytic amount of sulfuric acid with acetic acid, then carbocation will be formed here, and one of the phenyl groups will migrate and double bond will be formed here. This is a phenyl ketone which is more stable than a methyl ketone. So this one is the exclusive product under harsher condition, and under dilute and cold conditions you get the kinetically controlled process. Now you find here the first step also becomes thermodynamically controlled. We are using the harsher conditions in this case, where there is no chance of any other thing, either thermodynamically controlled or kinetically controlled from the beginning. There is no other possibility. Now if it is a 1 degree alcohol, there is no chance. There definitely the other carbon will lose water, carbocation will be formed here, then definitely one of the hydride ions will come, And aldehyde has to be the only product from 1 degree alcohol. You can't expect a 1 degree carbocation will form first. It will be kinetically controlled. But under harsher condition, you will get the conjugated one, as if the carbocation, why as if? Carbocation will be formed here. It's a one-step process. Will be formed here, unless it is a 2 degree or 3 degree. 1 degree carbocations are never formed. It is a one-step process. So 1 degree carbocation, but we tell to the students in stepwise manner, carbocation is formed first. Then it comes here, phenyl migrates, so it gives a conjugated ketone under concentrated sulfuric acid condition. Even if you have already prepared the aldehyde and you are adding concentrated sulfuric acid, then it will also transform to the conjugated ketone. I will show you the mechanism, right? Whether you take a vicinal diol with concentrated sulfuric acid, it will give directly this one, or you are using first cold dilute sulfuric acid to get aldehyde, and then for fun you want to treat it with this aldehyde with conc sulfuric acid, you get the same conjugated ketone. I will show you the first how this aldehyde is rearranged to the conjugated ketone. Now this aldehyde, supposing you got first with milder conditions, then added concentrated sulfuric acid, what happens here, this double bond O is protonated, and then there is a phenyl migration here, not the hydride transfer. This is the phenyl migration. You may ask me why and under harsher condition you are getting. No, this is aldehyde converting to ketone. That was diol converting to, conjugated ketone. So here phenyl migration occurs, and this pi bond is polarized to give you this OH plus. And now comes the hydride transfer. Again this comes here to form a double bond, and between the two, because we are using harsher condition, the hydride ion transfer occurs to give you the same, and deprotonation will give you the same ketone had you treated the original vicinal diol with conc sulfuric acid. Then the dehydration would have occurred here. This is a one-step process. So phenyl migration will give you the conjugated ketone. Now, fascinating things happen here in Pinacol rearrangement, where often you find ring expansion product or ring contraction product. See this case, how ring is expanded. Now, if you take this cyclopentane compound, one OH group is here, the other OH group is here. One group is connected to the cyclopentane ring and the other one to the adjacent carbon. Then you get two products. One is the 5-membered ring, the normal product. The other one is a ring expansion product. Let me show you, both are produced in appreciable quantities. Sometimes this one is the major product. Now, let me show you the mechanism of the ring expansion product. Now, supposing the carbocation is formed first, because it is a 3 degree carbocation. So also this is also a 3 degree carbocation, but there will be some strain here because it is a 5-membered ring. So let us consider first this one, showing the abundance of, the preponderance of the ring expansion products. Now carbocation is formed here. Then there is a migration of the side chain. One of the ring residues, this sigma bond, migrates. Now always I recommend you to number the carbon. Whenever there is a ring contraction, ring expansion, you number the carbon atoms. Supposing we number this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This lone pair comes here, this bond breaks and attaches here. This is the 6th carbon in the 6-membered ring. Now the water goes and this bond migrates, so there is no charge formation anywhere. Excepting, I have not written, there is a deprotonation step. This will be plus first, and then deprotonation will give you a neutral ketone. Otherwise, there is no positive charge here, no positive charge here, because this is getting an electron, extra electron, this is losing an electron, and this is also getting an electron. So there will be no charge, excepting oxygen will carry plus charge. After deprotonation, it will form this compound. Carbon number 1 has become has a double bond O, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in 6 you are having 2 ethyl groups. Normal product is where the carbocation is formed at the ring, and out of the 2 ethyl, one of the ethyl group migrates with the migration of water. So this is the normal product. Now see how a ring expansion occurs to form a spiro compound, or as you pronounce, a spiro compound. Now this, I am showing you the mechanism. These are the 2 cyclopentane rings connected, dicyclo biphenyl, so dicyclopentyl type of, and there is a diol, right? Now anywhere the dehydration can occur, and there is no second possibility. So one of the ring residue migrates and this comes here. So as usual there is no charge formation, but deprotonation will make it a spiro compound. So this is carbon number 1, where there is a double bond O, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To 6, the same carbon, you are having another ring. So when 2 rings share one common carbon, it is a spiro compound, right? Similarly, see how ring expansion is happening here. We have done similar, exactly same thing, but phenyl. But in this case, there will be no competition between the normal product and ring expansion product, because this was an alkyl carbocation. But this is a diphenyl methyl carbocation, which is highly stable. So this carbocation is formed here, and there is bound to be a ring expansion, this migration of a ring residue, and the lone pair coming here to give only the ring expansion product. You can have a look. I will be giving you the file, the entire file that I am using now for you to download and study. You also sometimes find ring contraction product when there is a steric hindrance. Sometimes normal product is not formed, particularly when you find cyclobutane diol. This is trans diol. You use dilute 20% sulfuric acid, you get a cyclopropane compound, ring contraction. See the mechanism. Now any one of the 2 carbon will lose water, and the other one will form a double bond with the consequent migration of the ring residue, so that it forms a 3-membered ring. I have numbered 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this C double bond OPH now is hanging to carbon number 1, which was already bearing another phenyl group. So due to the steric hindrance, so the normal carbocation, migration of one phenyl to the other phenyl is not possible. Rather, the ring contraction will require less activation energy to make the ring contraction product as the only product. Now let us talk about the stereochemical aspects in pinacol rearrangement. This part you may not fully understand if you are not thorough in cyclohexane configuration versus conformation, cis trans as well as different conformations. If you are thorough in that, you can understand 101%. If not, please don't make your head heavy, just casually listen to me. Anything comes to you, your brain, that's okay, otherwise forget. Now coming to, this is cis cyclohexane 1,2 diol. With acid treatment, it gives more than 90% cyclohexanone and less than 10% the ring contraction product, cyclopentane carbaldehyde. Now, if I tell you cis 1,2 disubstituted cis is either AE or EA, one group is axial, the other one is equatorial, Or the other way, if you flip the cyclohexane chair form to the other chair form, the AE will be EA, doesn't matter, same thing. Now, for cyclohexane, the migration of the migrating group and the dehydration of water, the elimination of water, that means dehydration, will take place in one step. Carbocation will not be formed. The two steps, the dehydration and migration, will occur in one step. And in cyclohexane, the stereoelectronic requirement is not only the two groups will be remaining anti with a dihedral angle of 180 degree, but also they should be diaxial anti. They should be diaxial. Of course, there is other possibilities, di-equatorial, they are also opposite to each other, but that is the second possibility. The transition state will be more, stable if the two groups, one living group, water, and the other migrating group, they are diaxial. Now see, in the case of cis, since one OH is axial, the other is equatorial, you have another axial hydrogen. So this hydride will transfer, because these two are in a diaxial position, will transfer, and there will be double bond formation here. So the major product is cyclohexanone. But the minor product I have shown the di-equatorial, because if this, instead of this dehydrating, if this dehydrating, then this equatorial group, the ring residue will migrate, so that you have a ring contraction product, and that is minor, very, very minor, because the anti-periplanarity of the two living groups, not living groups, one is migrating group, the other one is a living group, should be diaxial in cyclohexane. And if you take trans instead of cis, if you take trans, you get, unfortunately, the only product, that is the ring contraction product. How? Let me explain to you. If it is trans, if you know the configuration, it is either EE or AA. Di-equatorial or diaxial. Di-equatorial is stable. Diaxial is totally unstable conformation. And if you take the di-equatorial, then there is no way out. Hydrogen are axial. So one will be the living group as water. So the other migrating group has to be the ring residue. Under harsher condition you are doing. So there is no possibility of the, the normal product. There has to be a ring contraction product. So the ring residue will migrate to give you the ring contraction product as the only product. There is no question of, diaxial thing. But yes, you may ask, the other conformation where the two OH groups are diaxial, there is no axial hydrogen. Hydrogen is equatorial. All the two hydrogen atoms are equatorial. So one OH, both OH are diaxial, so there is no axial hydrogen. So this, as such, it is unstable conformation, and moreover there is no axial hydrogen to make the, or anti-periplanarity condition cannot be made here, so this conformation doesn't react. So the only conformation, di-equatorial, that will give you under duress, under strong conditions. Of course, this is a less probable condition, but there is no way out, then it will give the ring contraction product, not the normal product. Now, I have already told you, but the interesting thing is that if you use still harsher conditions, say you are using perchloric acid and 3 molar, then it was found under research that either you take cis or trans, each one of them will be giving the same mixture of 90% ring contraction product and less than 6% the normal product. Right? How? Under harsher condition, the cis and trans, which are configurational isomers, The bond breaking and remaking are required. They are in equilibrium. Because carbocation, it goes through carbocation. Once carbocation is formed, since all the steps are reversible under harsher conditions. Therefore, scientists have found out carbocation formation is taking place in most of the cases. Because in the recovered diol, because these are reversible, so you get some unreacted diol. And if you are using a water which is labeled with oxygen 18, then that labeled water will attack the carbocation for the backward process, and the recovered diol will be having one of the OH groups will be labeled oxygen. So from that, it has been found that most of the mechanisms go via carbocation. But some of them, no doubt, where 1 degree carbocation is never formed, and sometimes 2 degree carbocation. So many authors, they have not found the evidence of carbocation formation, but many others, where it's a 3 degree carbocation, they have definitely found the evidence the carbocation is formed, right? Now, why this happens? Earlier we said under little milder conditions, cis gives predominant normal product and trans gives only product, the ring contraction product, the way I explained to you. But under very harsh conditions, using 3 molar per chloric acid, either cis or trans, you are getting same, where the ring contraction product is the dominant one. Why? Because cis will be converted to trans, because between cis and trans is thermodynamically more stable. It has less interaction energy, it is more stable. So cis will be converted to trans, and as we know, trans gives the only product, and that is the ring contraction product. So via trans, cis also gives the major product as the ring contraction product, right? So, and sometimes it has been found that epoxides, when you hydrolyze epoxide, you get a trans diol. Epoxides, when hydrolyzed, gives a trans diol, because water will attack from one side and the OH will come up to the other side. So once trans diol is formed, the only product is the ring contraction product. So the substituted epoxides, cyclohexane epoxides, under treatment with acid, whatever the condition, it has to give trans diol, and trans diol will give you the ring contraction product. Now, there are several disadvantages of pinacol rearrangement. Poor regioselectivity, and we have not at all studied about stereoselectivity, which are very poor. Regio, so many products are obtained, whether carbocation will be formed here, favoring kinetics, or here favoring thermodynamics. And if kinetics from the first step, whether the second step is thermodynamics or kinetics, so there are so many possible angles. So to get a mixture of products, but that the heterogeneity of the products will be minimized if we have some manipulation. That is what we call semi-pinacol rearrangement. There are 4 types of semi-pinacol rearrangement. One involving there will be one OH group, there will be one, not vicinal diol, one OH group, and the other adjacent group will be very good living group like mesylate, tosylate, iodide, bromide, chloride. These are the very good living groups. And the other possibility is epoxide with adjacent OH. There will be one, not the one I told you, OH, and there is an adjacent epoxide. Substituted allyl alcohols, alpha amino alcohols, there will be one amino group, primary amino group NH2, and the adjacent OH. That particular semi-pinacol rearrangement has a typical name, Tiffany-Demjanov rearrangement. Tiffany-Demjanov rearrangement, that is the specific name given to the rearrangement product when alpha amino alcohols are treated with acid. I'll tell you, that is mild acids. I will tell you. Now this is the first type where this leaving group may be tosylate, maybe mesylate, maybe anything, maybe N2 plus, that is diazonium ion, or anything. This is the very good leaving groups. The other one is OH. This one is a very good leaving group. So preferentially, there is no competition between carbocation formation. This has to be kinetically driven. So carbocation will be formed undoubtedly here, and then double bond will form here. So one uncontrolling factor is now controlled, carbocation formation, and the only another factor is the migratory aptitude. That is not a very big factor. We know the relative migratory aptitude, so we can predict the major product, right? So if it is an amino group and you are using nitrous acid, sodium nitrite and HCl, then it will form the diazonium group, N triple bond N plus, and the leaving group becomes nitrogen gas. So that this groups goes forming a carbocation, and often carbocation is not formed. In one step process, this comes here, forms a double bond, and a group migrates which has a greater migratory aptitude to this carbon. So it becomes R1, C double bond O, CH2, R2, or the other way around depending on the migratory aptitude. Now see, the third case I told you, epoxide next to a OH. One OH will be there and the other one is epoxide. Now with a Lewis acid like BF3 in ether, in these conditions, you are absolutely getting this product. Now the not only regioselectivity is maintained, but also the stereoselectivity is maintained. Now I'll tell you why. Now the group which will be leaving, like dehydration. Here there is no dehydration because there is epoxide. This epoxide will be preferentially coordinated with the Lewis acid to form a dative bond, and therefore this will be the leaving group, and this one, the only migrating group is here. The lone pair will come here, and this alkyl group will migrate to this place. If this is a cis compound, the OH and the epoxy on the same side, R and R dash are also on the same side, then the OH comes here and the R group migrates to the top position, remains at the top. This R dash will definitely come down, and this will be breaking the bond, and this O will remain down. And after the removal of BF3, this OH will come down and this R dash will come down, this migrating group will be coming up, and there will be double bond O. So the stereochemistry is maintained. This is just like an SN2 attack, right? So we can predict the stereochemistry. Now same thing happens here. I just tell you, I'll be spending another 5 to 10 minutes to complete this process. I think we have already completed 1 hour. It is an extensive discussion. Now supposing this is a ketone, you add HCN to give you cyanohydrine, and you reduce with lithium aluminum hydride or hydrogen platinum to give you this primary amine, and this primary amine treated with nitrous acid at 0 degree Celsius to give you the diazonium compound. This is Tiffany-Demjanov rearrangement under this semipinacol, and then there is no chance that anywhere the carbocation can be formed here. No. Here if the carbocation formed, it is never formed. One step process, there is a ring migration, ring residue migration, because this has got a greater migratory aptitude, having a 3 degree carbon, 2 degree carbon, there is 1 hydrogen here, 1 alkyl, but there are 2 hydrogen here. So preferentially this ring residue migrates to expand the ring to a 6-membered ring, and there is a keto group. Right, you can number them, you will find R group will be 1, 2, 3 position. Always number. Supposing this carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is 6, right? So accordingly, you double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 will be carrying alkyl group, right? Now, of course, naming this compound 1, 2, 3, but I am saying whatever one in whichever direction you number. 1, 2, because this is migrating. Let us number from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This CH2 is this. Same thing happens, another kind of Tiffany-Demjanov reaction is, this is the amino compound where you see how the stereochemistry, there is a retention of configuration. Supposing this is a chiral center with R configuration, right? Now this is amino group, primary amino, nitrous acid, and there is N2 plus, no doubt. And what happens here, there are two possibilities, either this secondary butyl group migrates or the methyl migrates. So since secondary butyl has a larger migratory aptitude, that migrates. So this is CH3, C double bond O, then CH2, then secondary butyl, which has not lost its stereochemistry. This is R, this is also R. 87%, the dominant product is the migration of sec-butyl with retention of configuration, right? The minor product will be methyl migration. The methyl migration, even then methyl migration occurs to this carbon, then it will be secondary butyl, then C double bond O, then methyl will join here to make it ethyl, right? But still the R configuration is retained. In both the products, the configuration is retained, but the major product is due to the migration of sec-butyl group. The same thing happens here, Tiffany-Demjanov rearrangement, where this will lose the nitrogen gas from the diazonium ion, plus will be formed here. It is never formed here, double bond will come here, but there will be a ring contraction product, double bond. I have shown it here. The double bond will come here, and there is a ring residue migrating, so that there is a ring contraction. I have numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this after deprotonation, this group which will be hanging on to group, number 1 carbon, not this carbon is not there, so this bond has joined, this sigma bond has joined to carbon number 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and carbon number 1 will be now having free aldehyde group after deprotonation. Same, I have given some more examples, cyclohexanone, hydrogen cyanide giving you cyanohydrine, and the next step I have not shown, with lithium hydride I have reduced to a primary amine CH2NH2, then nitrous acid, make it N2 plus, and then ring residue migration will give you a 7-membered ring, cycloheptanone. Same thing. And last but not the least, this will be really intriguing and hard for those who have not been familiar with erythro and trio. These are the two systems where you have two different configurations, erythro-DNL and trio-DNL. In erythro, this compound, see how neighboring group participates, and how the steric factor also is a controlling factor in deciding the kinetically driven pathway. Now see, let me just take a bit of rest. Let me take a deep breath. I'm a little going fast. Let me drink a bit of water. Are you enjoying? Okay. Now see, this is erythroisomer, where we have to keep this amino and this phenyl anti-periplanarity is the condition. Anywhere. In cyclohexane it is diaxial anti-periplanarity. It is anti-periplanarity. But if you bring, this is anisile, paramethoxy phenyl. This is anisile, this is phenyl. If you bring with a rotation, if you bring 120 degree rotation, if you bring anisile to this position, anti to amino, then this phenyl will come closer with a Gauss to this phenyl. This phenyl will come here. This phenyl will be on the same side, Gauss. So there will be unfavorable steric hindrance. So that will not be stable transition state. So this phenyl has to be anti to amino. And as a result, what happens in the first step, this phenyl participates. This is called neighboring group participation. This pi bond now joins to form a sigma bond with this carbon with the removal of nitrogen gas to form this typical 3-membered cyclic ring with the benzene ring carrying plus charge restricted to this 5 carbon atoms. Then the lone pair comes here, forms a double bond, this bond breaks, and then phenyl stands up. So there will be 2 phenyl. So the anisile group will be now conjugating with keto group. So this is, this ketone is anisile conjugated ketone. This is bound. There is no doubt that the dominant product will be the other way, phenyl conjugation. Because if you bring anisile here in the erythroisomer, this will never make the conformation stable. The transition state will be unstable. So phenyl will be anti to amino in erythroisomer, and the neighboring group participation will make this as the dominant product. But if you take the trioisomer by making one switch, interchange between any 2 groups, I have interchanged between these 2 groups, and everything remaining same. Not I have borrowed this picture from some Google source. And here, this particular conformation you have to take. If you bring phenyl to amino, then anisile will come Gauss to phenyl. So this is the only possibility where anisile group will be anti to amino, and same anisile group will be having the neighboring group participation, also called the anchimeric assistance, to form this 3-membered cyclic ring, and then the double bond formation with the breaking of this bond, shifting occurs in the second step to give you this phenyl conjugated ketone, not anisile conjugated ketone, with absolute preponderance, majority. Now we have come to the conclusion of this video. This has grown a little longer. Please bear with me, and I have given some references from which I have studied and given you the concept. And I suggest you, if you are a student, then pick up a pen and paper, use the study materials that I'll be giving in the description box, and then you practice. Unless you practice, no amount of listening will help you. Bye bye. Until the next organic session, I am signing out. This is SS Tripathi. If you have not subscribed to my channel, SST Chemistry, please do so. And because I'm telling at the end, only those guys who have come to the end can listen what I'm saying now. And if you have liked it, put a thumbs up. Bye bye. Bye.